Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us for episode 153 of the MeepleCore Gaming Podcast. I'm your host, Tim Jennette, the Metal Meeple, and I'm joined by my co-hosts,
George Breden,
James Fitzgerald.
In this episode, we recap Gencon 2025. We give you reviews of Star Explorer and Flip Toons, and much more. Enjoy the show! Every time I do that stuff, it's so I got to be cheesy, right? That's the whole point. Like the DJ, the MC, Absolutely. The MC of podcasting. I don't know. The MC of MeepleCore podcasting.
We appreciate it.
Well, if you haven't joined us since the last episode, listen to the last episode. It's kind of a precursor to this one, although we'll have a little bit of overlap. Very little, though. We are going to recap Gencon 2025, and the last episode was a mid-con report that we did on Friday night, or at least my brother and I did. We're going to finish that off on here, but I didn't want this episode to be about Tim speaking the whole time. So we're also going to give you a couple of reviews of some games and talk about what we've been up to since the last podcast that George and James were on. And let's get into that real quick. We won't spend too much time on it, but George, what have you been up to since the last time you were on the podcast?
Well, it's the start of the school year, and so it's been super busy for me. Got another school year underway. I did manage to get a little bit of gaming in, and I'll be talking about one of those games on this podcast. Yeah, I've had a pretty good couple of weeks.
Has it mostly just been school for you?
Oh yeah,
nice. that is my life when school starts.
It really is.
Just school. I mean, you got a long commute and all that stuff too, so it kind of takes.
Yeah, it's constant.
Teachers kind of get the short end of the stick when it comes to careers, right? Because you work effectively 40 hours with the students, but then you still have to do all the other crap outside of school.
Absolutely, all the paperwork, I don't just mean like grading papers. I mean also paperwork on students and whatnot. Yeah,
that's wild.
No, there's plenty.
Yeah. Anyway, James. What about you? Or George, were you done? Sorry.
Yeah, that's my life at the moment.
Fair enough.
Work and one instance of playing some games, which I'm very happy about, but we'll talk about that later.
Cool. All right, what about you, James?
Still working through the Origin games that I bought at Origins, like Architects of Amatis, which is pretty good 2-player game, 7 out of 10. I'll go through these real quick. Grand Central Skyport, 8 out of 10. Surprise. We'll
we got to review that one. I haven't played it. I bought it.
Oh, you haven't played it yet?
No, I haven't played it yet.
We end up playing with the acrylic balloons instead of the plastic in the deluxe version.
We talked about that.
This.
Yeah, we talked about that. Like the acrylic is so much cooler looking.
Yeah, the acrylic just looks a lot better. And I liked it a lot. I don't know if my wife did. Played Artemis Project with a bunch of knuckleheads. I'd say it's about 6.5 out of 10, maybe. It was a good dice placement game, bidding game. Played with Tim and Eric is who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And their wives.
Yeah.
Then my wife on her birthday picked Tuscany, Viticulture Tuscany, which is always a must. You have to play it Tuscany, and that's always a 9 out of 10. That's an evergreen for our household.
That is a great game. I love the new, well, I don't know how new it is, but the one that's a co-op.
Yeah, I haven't played that yet. I've got it.
World of Viticulture.
Yeah, I was going to do it solo. I just haven't done it yet. Shifting Stones, which is an older game. She got that for her birthday, and it's actually better than I thought it'd be. It's probably give it about a 7.5. It's your grid of 3x3 tiles, and they have colors on each side, and you're trying to use your cards to move them around to match a pattern on one of your other cards to score. It's actually pretty fun. It's on Board Game Arena if you want to check it out. Then got Chomp, which I'll play. I knew she wouldn't like when I played it in 2024, but for some reason I bought it this year, and she did not like it. I think it's okay. It's a solid 6. It's a decent game.
It's a solid
dinosaur
6.
Drafting dinosaur cards, and you're trying to make a little area where you've got your dinosaurs in certain areas to score. And then I got a Game Found game in called Onoda. I can't speak Japanese, so Onoda. It's about the World War II soldier. This is actually a true story where they put him on an island with 2 other soldiers to defend the island in World War II near the end of it. So then when Japan lost the war, they tried to tell him that, but he wouldn't listen. So he didn't believe him. He was defending this island at all costs. And he lived there for 30 years thinking the war was still going on. And he wouldn't believe anything. They were dropping pamphlets on him and everything. And his family would come and tell him that the war's over, and he wouldn't believe them. He thought they were compromised.
He was raiding the local villages.
Yeah, and he was going around raiding the local villages and stuff and sneaking around. Finally, his commander had to come out of retirement and tell him the war was over, so he'd leave in 1974 or 5. But the game is about that, and it's pretty interesting. You're going around the island, and you're playing event cards, and you got a mission every 6 rounds, and you got a mission that you're trying to accomplish. You don't have to accomplish to go on the next round, and it's up to you when the round ends because it'll score more, but you're trying not to go crazy or die from health. It's actually really fun. I mean, I didn't have high hopes. Usually that's not my type of game where you're trying to you're getting just bombarded and you're moving around the map and you're trying not to make noise. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. The first only play I played it, but it's 6 rounds. After 3 rounds, I was like, oh my God, this is going to be too easy. I was just going around doing it and making sure I was clearing out the noise and completing the missions. And then round 4 hit and I went crazy and then the game was immediately over because when your mental health goes past your physical health on the track, it's over. You've done something bad to yourself and you've ended it all.
Yeah,
in the game.
Oh man.
And so yeah, that happened to me. That went really quick because there's a bunch of rolls. You're doing checks every time you go do something besides moving. You're checking. If you're trying to get food for all the people, you and your buddies, you're doing a roll check. So once you get some stuff too high or too many caution alert, people see you around, the check, it's going to be higher and you're pulling out. I called it a roll. It's actually you pull out of a bag and you're the token has a number on it. And if it's got to be higher than your alert count in that region.
I like bag pulling games usually.
Yeah, it's very enjoyable. I mean, especially for a solo game and just going around. I'm actually looking forward to playing it again, getting it to the table, and that's everything. I'm sorry, I went too long.
No, you're all right. So that game, you started out with a group, right? Did he have 2 or 3 other people on the island with him for years?
He has 2 at the beginning, but there's another guy that can join, which he did. And I think that's where it all went wrong. When he joined the group, then you shuffle in 2 more event cards that pertain to this guy that shows up, then everything. Because then you got an extra mouth to feed. So you're trying to get more food. Because every round you start with 0 food. So you're trying to get food again. Yeah,
because he was with these guys for years, but then one by one they died off. Yeah.
Man, that's a crazy story.
Yes. But that's me.
All right. Well, much of my what I've been doing is going to be in the Gencon parts, but I can't remember. Did I tell you guys? I looked at while you were talking, I looked at the dates the podcast came out, but did I tell you I played the special edition of Castles of Burgundy?
I don't know.
I don't think I did, but anyway, a couple of weeks ago, we played the special edition of Castles of Burgundy. Eric has it, and it's not the one with all the miniatures, but it does have the miniatures for the castles, just not all the other, buildings and stuff. And it was super nice. So we, Sierra and I got it back out, our version, which is like the old one. And it just, it looks stupid in comparison, but it's still a great game and we really like it. I don't know. I would go back and forth. Like, do I want to spend a ton of money to replace a game I already have with all these cool acrylic tiles and all this stuff? But it's really well done. Then you see the box size and I'm like, I don't know about all that. I at this point in my life, I have a room that has a set amount of shelves and space. And if it can fit, it can stay. So if
this is a huge one.
Yeah. And it's a huge box that would take up at least 2, maybe 2.5 Ticket to Ride size spots. And I just don't know if I want to do that.
I'm going to say that version kicked Castle of Burgundy up to my number 1 game of all time.
Whoa.
I own the version, the one you described. I don't have the miniatures for each building, but it's just fantastic. I mean, the production is amazing. The only problem is with the acrylic tiles, it doesn't say what the buildings do on the back. Which you can buy on Etsy. Somebody has made stickers to put on the back to solve that. I mean,
yeah, but you got like a player aid that has all of them on there, so it's like whatever.
And that the vineyard expansion is just the little vineyard expansion.
Yeah, I like the
really
vineyard.
good.
The vineyard was pretty cool. You can ignore it and still do good, or you can focus on it a little bit and do good. So it's not like it's a necessity. It isn't one of those little mini expansions that really screw up the main purpose of the game or shift the focus over to it instead. And I really like that. But I'll tell you my favorite. This is going to sound dumb, but I really mean this. One of my favorite things about that version is that the castles are actually burgundy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of being a dark green,
Right.
they are burgundy.
Right.
Whoever, yeah, that was great.
It throws me off at first because you're expecting to be green. I played a song with the green
because of all the other previous versions and stuff, right?
A mutual friend of ours, Jason, he has the one with the miniatures for the buildings, and I do not recommend playing with that because you're looking around the buildings constantly trying to see the map.
Yeah, like obscures your view,
Right.
and unless you paint
pretty,
those things, I don't know.
But yeah, I don't recommend it. The acrylic tiles are just perfect.
Yep. Those two games, obviously, well, the special edition, and then we played Castles of Burgundy. We also played a game. We're kind of going through all the games that we have on a shelf of want to play, but probably we'll get rid of even after we play it. We played Haleakala.
Yeah.
It's a 2-player game.
I know that one.
Yeah, it sucks.
No. No, it's all right.
That is, no. If my AC or if my heater went out and I needed to start a fire. To be fair, though, the game is old, and when it came out, it might have been better. But it is destroyed by so many better 2-player games. I don't know. We didn't like it, but to each their own. Obviously, I am not a theme guy. It has nothing to do with the theme. It has everything to do with the boring nature of what you're doing. It's like it's a rondelle.
I'm more of a theme person.
That's fair.
I love rondelles.
No, the rondelles.
And I love Hawaiian rondelles even more.
This is your number one Hawaiian rondelle. I guarantee it.
That's right. I'll admit the theme. I do like the game for the
What's
theme.
the name of it?
It's
Haleakala.
Haleakala. I think it has a low 6 anyway. What is it? What's the rating on it? Are you looking at it?
6.6.
Oh, 6.6. I'm sure a lot of people like it, but for us, it wasn't a hit. Maybe it's better played with somebody who's like super competitive against you. We just like to play and have fun, but it's
essentially like a Euro game, but it's quite short. So I kind of liked that.
No, that's fair. I mean, it has some good qualities. I just didn't like it.
Yeah. Kat and I had a good time with it.
If you can like some, you can not like some, and not everybody has to like the same games, right? That's the
Absolutely
thing about 50 million games coming out every year.
Even though you're completely wrong.
All right, fair enough. Well, I still have it. We'll play. Oh no, I sold it. Never mind.
You burned it.
No, I didn't burn it. I wouldn't burn it. Like I would donate it before I burned it.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some games I would burn or want to. Anyway,
Through the Desert.
I've never played it.
I'm joking. Well, I'm kind of joking.
It's a good game.
I knew you were going to say that.
I bought the new one, so I got to play it, and then we'll see who I agree with. Anyway, other than that, we've been watching a lot of Resident Alien. So,
oh yeah, it's ending. That's sad.
Yeah, have you seen this, George?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's a TV show that has Alan Tudyk from Firefly and Serenity.
Oh, okay.
The pilot,
Yeah.
He plays this alien that takes the form of a human, basically. And when you watch the trailer, you're like, oh yeah, I can kind of see what this show is about. And then like halfway through the series, you're like, this has nothing to do with what I thought it was about. Like it is just, it does what it wants. In a good way, in a great way.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm interested.
It is fantastic.
Yeah, it's funny. It's a good comedy.
So funny. There's not a lot of TV shows that I will routinely laugh at every episode, but oh my God, it is so
good.
ridiculous.
Yeah. I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Check that out.
All right.
All right. So we're going to move on to Gencon 2025. Now, James has listened to the previous episode. George has not. So if some of these things that George asked I covered in the previous episode and you've listened to it, then I apologize. Because,
And I apologize too.
yeah, it's all good. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. But anyway, the first thing I'm going to say, though, is last episode we talked about recording in a basement. So we rented this Airbnb, which is really nice when you bring kids because everybody gets their own bedroom and then there's multiple floors. This was a 2-story house with a basement.
Great.
And we recorded this podcast in this basement. And I didn't record video on this one, but I just wanted to take some pictures and show this. But look how ridiculous this is. This is the first picture.
Oh, wow.
What?
And then you walk into this room. Da-da-da, and this is where we recorded the podcast.
No. It puts the lotion in the basket.
Yeah.
It's like Blair Witch Project up in here. Anyway, if you aren't watching the video, I'll try to make this part of a video. But if you don't see a video, essentially we had a small fold-out table with a laptop on it. And right next to it, we had a 5-gallon bucket that was on a planter, like a planter stool. And on top of that, we had the camera with the mic pointing at us and 2 chairs. And it looks
very much like a hostage situation.
Yes. I'm surprised there's not a newspaper in there.
Oh, I should have done that
Yeah.
to show the date or whatever.
Yeah.
And the floor was painted white at some decade. And the wall looks like, it's got the paint's ripped off so you can see the brick behind it and stuff. Oh, it's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. It was scary. It was pretty scary.
Wow.
But
I didn't listen to it yet, so I don't know what the audio quality was. Was it all right?
Pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that mic he has is really nice. So it came out pretty well.
So you two were sitting next to each other?
Yeah, we only used one mic. We just put it between us.
Oh, wow.
That mic, yeah, it's not cheap, but it's not like, it was like $300. It's like a shotgun mic, but it's very it's got a little bit of a wide pattern, so you can hit 2 people at once. It's good stuff. So anyway, to continue on with the Gencon stuff, last time we talked about Thursday and Friday. Now I'm talking about Saturday and Sunday. This time, for the first time ever, I got to bring my kids. So the whole family was there, and we did a lot of fun things that were kids related. So I'll kind of go over those real quick, just because I don't think a lot of people are gonna, if you have kids, I guess it's gonna be really cool. We did this sword fighting thing, right? They have these foam swords that have, like a felt or like a velvet over them.
Okay, you didn't make them. You just borrowed some.
No, right. We bought some, but they end up using the ones at the event. And so we brought the ones that we purchased home. But the guy, he's like a Viking. And so I can't remember what he goes by, but he runs the event for the kids. And this guy is great, a great host, because picture like this little area that's maybe like 30 feet by 30 feet. And that's where the kids do all this sword battling. And he has these Vikings and Valkyries. They're volunteers that are all dressed up. And the kids fight them and stuff, right? But what was really cool is he's asking questions and stuff, but he's like entertaining the parents, because all the parents are sitting like in a row of chairs watching it like a show.
Okay. Yeah.
And so he's like, all right, in this one, we're going to have 2 teams, and it's like separates them into 2 teams. And, it's like whoever can kill off the most of the other team and blah, blah, blah. But the biggest thing is he wants to see them have glorious deaths. So if you get killed, you got to do like, just be outlandish and stuff. And these kids are
great.
Yeah, these kids are, under 12 for the most part. So
that makes it fun when you get killed rather than having it be a bad thing. That's brilliant.
Right.
yeah, exactly. And he would say stuff. He's like, what are we going to do to the other team? And they're like, they all yell. They're like, kill them. He's like, what are we going to do? He's like, what are we going to do? Kill them. He's like, parents, what are you teaching your kids? It just, he would do a lot of that kind of stuff where like he would say little quips and the parents would laugh.
Yeah.
It was really, really good. And if you ever have kids that go to Gencon, this is a must attend event. Like if you got little kids, my youngest was a little bit timid, but he had a lot of fun, even just watching. But man, the fact that he makes it like this, it's more like acting. And
yeah.
dude, you can hit somebody with these hard. If an adult hits a kid with them, unless you're hitting them in the head, but they have a no head rule,
Right.
It does not really hurt. It doesn't sting. I mean, these things are great. They're very lightweight. They're mostly inexpensive. They're like $25, which I don't feel like is super a lot. And they're going to last a long time unless for some reason you're hitting trees or something stupid, because it is a velvet that's over it. You know, you don't wanna, you don't want to destroy the fabric by doing something dumb. But yeah, it was, I didn't even participate, but I consider it a highlight of the con because I got to see my kids have such a great time. And before that, we actually they have they're called safety swords and safety shields. They didn't use any shields during the event, which was really odd, but you could decorate safety shields, which means you just get a bunch of markers and they provide you with one of the shields and then you color it and stuff. So my sons did that. One was a creeper head from Minecraft. Right. And my oldest did a big banana, and then he had me help him with the stencil to write banana. So it was just kind of ridiculous, but it was really cool. At home, we do a lot of lightsaber fights, which is why I signed them up for this anyway. But I'm looking forward to using these swords instead, because if you miss and you hit somebody's hand, it just feels like you get hit by a pillow. You know what I mean? Instead of like whack, you get hit. Your knuckles just got hit by a lightsaber plastic.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
It sounds really good. Now you've got a banana night at home, and
I got a banana night and a creeper. So we did that. I'll kind of skip around and say in any chronological order. It's just how I remembered it.
Fair.
Sunday, we did something really neat. We participated in a Pokemon pack battle. Have you ever played the Pokemon TCG?
No, sorry.
No.
Okay. Well, you've played like TCGs before, like Magic and stuff like that, right?
Game of Thrones.
Okay,
Nope.
Sure.
I haven't played any of them.
What the crap? Okay.
I know, it's crazy.
Well, you don't really need to know how the game works, but effectively, the way this works is you get one Pokemon pack, which I think is 10 cards, and you add 10 energy to it, and that's your deck. So you got a deck of 20 cards. Super random. If you pull a really powerful card, you're basically going to win. But it also depends on, what you put out in your energy. So in the game, you put a Pokemon out, but you have to attach energy to it, which are cards. Right. So if you got a water Pokemon, you're attaching water Pokemon or water energy. So if you don't put a lot of water energy in there, so a little bit of deck construction goes into this pack battle, because if you open a pack and you get like 7 different types of Pokemon, you only put 10 energy. What are you going to put? One of each? So you might have to top heavy it or look and see. A lot of the Pokemon have colorless energy that they need. Like it's like to do this ability is just colorless, which means it doesn't matter what energy you give it. Okay. Those are really good to have.
Right.
But it's just pretty neat because you can just open the pack, add 10 energy. And for those who are familiar with the TCG, normally if you want to turn Charmander into Charmeleon or to Charizard to evolve him, you have to have Charmander and you have to put the other Pokemon on top of it, right? To evolve it. But clearly, if you pull like a Charmeleon, let's say, and you don't have a Charmander, how are you going to do the evolution? And so they have there's a Pokemon called Ditto, and he has a rule that says like he can morph into any Pokemon level 1 or 2. And so basically every Pokemon that's a basic card immediately has the Ditto rule in this format.
Okay.
And it makes it super cool. Like if you were going to just play, like you sit down and the other thing is you play normally till 6 prizes. So you have to knock out 6 of your opponent's Pokemon. And this one is just 2. The games are 5 to 6 minutes long.
Oh, that's great.
Dude, it was amazing for younger kids because you don't have to sit there for 35, 40 minutes playing a match.
Yeah.
That might have a lot more thought to it. It's just random fun. They give you tickets. You can take the tickets up, for every win that you get, you can get like a prize, much like a arcade or something. So we got some more packs, and then we bought some more packs. So we did
because as you play the game, you buy a pack. That's how you
exactly
enter. Yeah. And you're going to buy the pack anyway. So yeah, that's cool.
Right. It was like $6 and you get a pack, which effectively is the cost of the pack.
Yeah.
Plus you get tickets and you can turn them in for prizes, which in this case, we got more packs. So in the end, we ended up buying more packs at some vendors, and we went home and actually did a pack battle tournament of ourselves.
Just following the same rules.
Same rules, yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Dude, that is one of my newest ways to play. I think every pack that we're opening, we're going to do a little pack fight between us. And then you break the deck apart and sort it out. It's not balanced in the slightest, but that's the fun part about it is like, see what you get. Because here's the other thing about Pokemon. You take 7 cards and that's your hand, but then you take, in the pack battle, it's 2. In the normal game, it's 6 off your top of your deck, and it becomes prizes. So some of your best cards can be locked into that prize slot and you don't even know it. So in a pack battle, 2 of the 20 cards, is that 10%? 10% of your cards are locked up and you don't even know what they are. They could be the one card that you pulled out of the pack that's your rare that's really good. So even though you pulled an amazing card, it doesn't mean that you auto win every game that you play. So it is a very, very cool format. Really awesome. That was another highlight of the con. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing those more because that was really cool. Other than that, we did the math trade, which is always a highlight. Man, if you have not participated in a math trade, have you guys participated in a math? I mean, I know George has locally, but.
Yes, I have not. No, I did actually at Gencon as well. Yeah.
Did you? Oh, okay. What about you, James?
I have not.
Man, that is the highlight of my convention every year. I'm telling you, because you essentially take what you consider trash.
Yeah.
Or stuff that you're like, I'm never going to get this to the table.
You really don't want it.
Yeah. And you trade it for things that are, possibly amazing. So just to kind of go over the list of stuff that I did for this math trade, because I don't think I did it last time. Here's some of the stuff I got rid of. 12 Thieves, Lestrada. Patchwork, which was the Christmas edition with the Christmas cookie cutter. But I already own Patchwork, so I didn't really care to get rid of this.
Right.
Planted, Richard the Lionheart, Ready, Set, Bet, Mysterium Park, Azul, and Tesseract. Now, to some people, that is a great list of games, minus, maybe 1 or 2. But for me, it's like, I'm never going to play most of these, or I own it, or it was a second copy. And I got, and this is relative order. So like, for instance, the first game I traded for this first game. So 12 Thieves, I traded for Battle Stations. Didn't know what this was. I was actually trading it for the Sweetener, which was it's a different game. I forget the name of the game, but it's the game that has that space map that just looks absolutely insane. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
That was English. I was like, do you know what I'm talking about? Anyway, I'll look it up later. Battle Stations is apparently an RPG type of game, so I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
It looks cool. I'll never play it.
It's decent, actually, but yeah, it's like a lifestyle kind of game. Like, you have to really get into it to. Yeah, you may not. You may not. We'll see.
That's why it said 240 minutes playtime.
Yeah.
Wow.
I also got an Arcadia Quest Chaos Dragon expansion because I got a ton of Arcadia Quest stuff. I got Eternal Palace, George.
Eternal Palace. Okay.
Yeah. That was new.
Yeah.
That was new in Shrink.
Nice.
Have you guys heard of Dragoon?
I have. It's got little metal
Yeah.
pieces and a cloth map.
Well, the Kickstarter does.
Okay.
And so I got the Kickstarter version, and it was new in Shrink. I got War Chest, Magma Roma Deluxe with the expansion and all the Kickstarter stuff. Sunrise Lane, which James was telling me the board breaks in half, so that's fun.
Yes.
I got Lifeboats, the new one, the planks of whatever.
Yeah, it's great.
And Spyro for PS4. So yes, people do put non-board games on there, and they'll list it as outside the scope of BGG. Eric actually got a Pikmin 1 and 2, I think, for Nintendo Switch. So you can get some cool stuff. One of my best, and I talked about this before in the past, but one of my favorite things was I traded 2 board games. Each one was a separate trade in the math trade, and I got like $800 in War Machine for the first one and like $600 for the second one. It was just,
oh my Lord,
boxes of Khador. I think one of them I got like 8 Warjacks and like 4 Warcasters. One Warjack is like $30.
Huh.
It was ridiculous. Plus it came in like a foam, bag and all that stuff. Oh, it was.
Whoever traded you must have really wanted that board game, apparently. Or actually, it doesn't matter because they shift around to whoever needs what. Exactly.
So I got I got it on a rotation, but everybody got what they asked for.
Yeah.
Because you don't get stuff you didn't ask for. You have to apply it to something to be able to be in a trade circle, which is done through an algorithm.
Yeah, it is brilliant. Yeah.
It is great. So yeah, I traded up in that case, but it doesn't mean the other person traded down. I mean, I'm sure they did, but maybe they got what they wanted. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
everyone all the way around gets what they want. It's amazing how it works out.
Exactly.
Yeah, the Sunrise Lane, I brought it to game night, and my friend was trying to flatten out the board, and he snapped it in half. Which, I mean, I only paid like $11 on Amazon for it. It was on a sale.
That wasn't too long ago, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
last year or something.
Right.
Anyway, or maybe beginning of this year. It all blends in together. But I mean, it's a fun little game. But I've got these little clips that you can put on boards anyway to flatten them. So if I'm going to play it again.
Board game butler.
Yes, exactly. That's what it is.
All right. And they owe us money. No, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, I mean, they work pretty well. And yeah, I could use those to clip those two boards together now. But it was no big deal. I just laughed about it. But then I did see the BGG forum about it, that's a common problem.
Yeah,
people are doing the same thing.
If you sent me that link to the forum, or if
yes,
I just
did.
Okay, I thought you did. Yeah, there was a lot of people saying they have the same problem.
And War Chest is fantastic. I don't know if you played that before.
I had played it in the past, and I've always meant to pick it up, and I tried to trade against it like for 2 years. So I'm excited I got it. Plus, my oldest went to chess club or chess camp over the summer, and so he's really into chess. And so This is something to show him that it's like, all right, you got the fundamentals of chess down. Here's another game that actually might interest you even more,
right?
Because it's chess, but it's more gamey. A couple of fun things that we did while we were there. I mentioned it on the last episode, but we did play the giant version of Spirits of the Wild, the new one, Awakening or something. Have you played Spirits of the Wild, George?
I'm trying to think that I haven't placed it yet.
It's like that Mattel game where you collect stones out of the pouch and you're putting them on these little. You're basically doing like a Yahtzee style hands with them. Like pair them up with like 2 different colors, or have like a full house of colors and blah blah blah. It's a little 2-player game.
It doesn't sound familiar to me. I don't think I've played it.
Oh my gosh. I know 100% that you will absolutely fall in love with this game.
All right.
It is 100% up your alley, other than not having a bunch of animal people.
And it's made by it's made by Mattel.
It's made by Mattel, yeah. So it was really, they came out with it. It was really hard to find. People were selling it secondhand for like $75.
Wow.
Oh, man.
It was nuts. And now they've announced a new version of it called Spirits of the Wild Awakening. I believe that's the title. But they've changed a few things about it, and it's even better.
All right.
It is a phenomenal 2-player game. Phenomenal.
Well, I can tell you, I pre-ordered it because of your podcast.
Oh, really? Have you ever played it before?
No, you said.
Oh my!
You said your wife liked it a lot. So.
Oh yeah, it is a fantastic 2-player game. If we ever do top 10 2-player games, spoiler alert, it's going to be on there.
We should do that sometime.
Yeah, we should.
Haleakala should be on there.
It's all 4 of the. It's every spot from 1 to 5. Anyway, one of the things that has happened with Gencon over the years, for those who aren't familiar, in the very beginning, 2003-ish to like 2011, maybe like 2009, they used to have swag bags. You'd walk in there.
I remember.
You would get a bag. I remember getting a bag of Dreamscape
no way.
Yeah, Dreamscape, right? The miniature game.
Oh, all right.
No, right, that's it, right? Dreamscape? What the crap was the name?
Dreamscape is the Skrillex game. Excellent game, actually. Board game.
What is the name of the Dream Blade? That's what it was. I just remembered now. Dream Blade by Wizards of the Coast. It was like Magic the Gathering miniature game. Well, anyway, they had a booster box and a starter box. Or maybe it was just a starter box. I think it was a starter box that came with it. And it had like a booster element built into the starter box. But then you had like 9 packs of different trading card games that they threw in every, dude, it was like $100 worth of crap in this bag.
Yeah.
All your dice and stuff.
It'd be sponsored by certain companies. They'd throw a bunch of stuff in there. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah. But this is when the attendance was like 25,000. And as it's went up, it becomes not as feasible for companies to spend that amount of money to feed your bags, right?
Yeah.
But before, it was like it would pay for your badge, period. Now, I mean, and as time went on, they started dropping stuff. And then they came out with a coupon book, and the coupon book was really good at first. There was a lot of come to our booth and hand this in. Now the coupon book is like almost 100%. Come to our booth and spend $25, present this coupon to get a promo. I mean, all the coupon book is an ad.
Yeah.
Because even if you don't hand them the promo 90% of the time, they're going to give you the thing anyway. Or not, even if you don't have the coupon to give them, they're going to give you it by spending the $25, even if you didn't know it was a thing.
Right. Yeah. They want to get it out there.
Right. All it is an advertisement book. Now they've, I like when companies, the reason I say all this is because, it makes a lot of sense to me. I'm not knocking any companies. It is sad to see the coupon book kind of divulge into an ad book, but whatever. What's neat though is when companies decide, hey, we're going to do some cool ways for you to get promos. And one of those promos that was done really well is by Ivy Studios, which is the people that do Moonrakers and Veil of Fate or whatever.
Oh, yes, yes.
They have another game. I think it's called like Brink of Time or something. I don't remember what it's called.
Just Brink. I know it's called Brink.
Let's see. Moonraker. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. They have another, it's a card game where it has just numbers. Every card is just 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Basically, they took those cards, and if you went to their booth, they had 2 booths, one inside the dealer hall and one outside. If you went there, you would get either a set of odd cards or a set of even cards. I think you got like 7. And then they wanted you to walk around and trade with other people. And when you do that, you're trying to get a 5 in a row. Doesn't matter what numbers they are, as long as they're 5 in a row. And then you can bring it back to their booth and you would actually turn it in for one of their 2025 promo packs for, it's called Time to Panic is the game.
Oh,
I just found it. So I was talking while I was trying to find this. So I probably sounded like I was all over the place. They just had a bunch of these cards and you were trading with people and then you can turn it in and get promos. So I got like a hoodie with like the Ivy Studio logo and something else on it. And I got a pack of Moonrakers because I like Moonrakers. But I thought that was really cool. It's a cool way to walk around and trade. Settlers of Catan does that as well. They have one person dressed up as like, a sheep or whatever, and you walk around and find them and they hand you a bunch of little buttons that you put on your shirt and you can trade those with each other. And if you have all 5 resources, you can get the robber.
that is cool. I like it when they do really creative stuff like that.
That was pretty fun. Other than that, I just got a bunch of other games. So I'll go over that and then we're going to move on to doing some reviews of one of the games that I'm going to talk about on this list. I got, let's see, for George, I'll tell you, I bought Galileo Project. That was only $5. That was great. We bought a game.
Galileo Project.
Yeah, it's like a space game. It's from the Sorry We're French people.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
We got
I'm with you.
a nice hobby game called Here Fishy Fishy for our 2-year-old. Got the War of Whispers expansion that I put on my top 10 Gencon list. Yeah. One of the fun things I found was I like Arcane Academy. I don't know if you guys remember that game at all. They had the Gencon 50th anniversary expansion that they came out with. They just randomly brought a few copies to their booth and were like, yeah, we just found another box of them. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited because I didn't buy it. So I bought that. We got Grand Central Skyport Deluxe. We bought Wine Cellar, a bunch of tea games. I just wrote it down as tea games and Mandala Stones. Like not Teotihuacan, but the other ones like Takanu or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Pina Colada Ice. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the look of that one.
Point of View, which is a Haba game. Where,
oh, man. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm excited about this one.
Yeah. Did you see it? Did you know about it, James?
No.
It's like Where's Waldo, but the board that you have in front of you is like a DM screen. So it's like 3 sections that sit in front of you. So you can't see the other players, but everybody has a different viewpoint. So you're viewing it from the north, like it's a circus or whatever, right? Or not a circus, but like an amusement park. And so each player's board is viewing it from a different angle. So north, south, east, or west. And then it asks questions like, who's the biggest unicorn fan? And you're trying to find them, but like, you're never going to find it because it's hiding behind something from your view.
Yeah.
So it allows all 4 players to play this a cooperative game, but no one can actually be the quarterback.
It requires that you communicate.
It does. It requires, like, I think I see something over here. Can you look at this? Anybody else see it from the north or whatever? And then you're like, oh yeah, you're right. I see that now. So it's pretty neat. My son played the demo of it, and he asked to actually buy it. So I got really excited with that.
I've been looking for it. I've been trying to find this game, so I hope it comes out to retail fairly soon.
Yeah. I bought Timber Town, Manhattan Project, the second one, Up or Down, Happy Mochi. Sierra bought Uno Golf for nostalgia reasons. And lastly, a game we had no idea existed. And we walked over and we saw it on the table. It's a kid's version of the game, and it's called Sandcastles of Burgundy. I was like, what is this? And she goes, is that Castles of Burgundy for kids? And this is Sierra's favorite game, right? So, or one of them. And we looked at it, I was like, this is awesome.
James's favorite game too.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So it's like a kid's version of it. So we bought that. And
Have you tried it out?
we have not. We
Okay.
will next weekend, I think.
All right.
I guess the last thing, real quick, so I don't eat up too much more time, because I do want to get the other things. The games I played, normally I don't play a lot of games at Gencon, but when we came home, you know, my brother was there and his wife and stuff, so we played some games. I brought the Dice Settlers that James brought me finally.
Yay.
We played the base game of it. I didn't use the expansion. It's good stuff. We played Wine Cellar, which was pretty good. It's about as good as I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
Up or Down. Have you seen this game, George?
Yes, it's a capstone game.
It is awesome.
Yeah.
It is really good.
I'm definitely picking one of these up.
Yes. We played Here Fishy Fishy with my son. And then randomly we went to a place to eat and they had Shut the Box. So I recorded that.
Yeah. Shut the box.
Yeah. Checkers and chess, all that stuff. And yeah. And then we got back home. I played Quarto because Sierra had not played that.
Well, it sounds like a great con.
Not that is actually Gen Con related, but it was the same day. So, I mean, it was a really good Gen Con. I think it's different experiencing it with kids than it is going and experiencing as a attendee and as a member of the press. So I've kind of done all three now, and it's cool to mix it all up into one 4-day convention. Very cool.
Yeah. Thanks for telling us about it.
Yeah. You want to move on to doing some of the games real quick?
Think we should.
All right. So the first game of the two that we're going to review here is Star Explorer. So Star Explorer is a game by Queen Games, and it is a roll and write, or what did you say, James? A verb and write?
Yes.
Because they have a, flip and write, roll and write, scratch off
Draft and write.
Draft and write.
Scratch off. Right.
So Star Explorer is designed by Lucas Zakpa. You know what? You just read the screen for that one. I'm sorry, but it's It's published by Queen Games, and this is a game where it's a flip and write where you have this board that you have to assemble. So I'm going to start off with that. Each player board has to be glued together, but you use these little glue tabs. You peel them off, you stick them on the spot, and you peel it off again. You do that 6 times, and it allows the double player board to kind of you fold it over and it becomes the first part. And then you put it in the corner of the box and then line the other board on top of it. So it ends up becoming a tri-level board, but you do have a little bit of assembly. It is not that bad. At first it was a little intimidating because I was like, how does this go when you read the instructions? But there's a QR code that takes you to a video, and it is way easier than I thought it would be.
Okay.
But
That's important.
I'm assuming this keeps the cost down. Otherwise, if they had to assemble all this or pay for the dual layer boards to be made, it'd be a much more pricier game. And I think it's only like $25 or so.
Oh, wow. That's reasonable.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
each player has one of these boards. You all see this now, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So if you're not seeing the screen and you're listening to the podcast, picture this board that has like all the scoring of like a typical roll 'em right at the bottom. Then you have a cutout that looks kind of like an eyeball, like almost like an oval. And you slot this Starry Night board into that. So you only see like a third of the stars that you would normally see on the full board. And then it allows you to spin it so that you can only see like a third of the board each time. The game takes place over 6 rounds. Each round, you're going to be flipping over one of these tiles. So to talk about the tiles, though, at the start of the game, each player gets a tile that has a number 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, but you get 2 sevens. So effectively you have 7 tiles, but there's only 6 rounds in the game. So one of these tiles that you have will not be played. And what happens, whoever the start player is will say, they'll look at their board and say, okay, maybe my start tile, which is on the screen here, this 8, says your purple stars will give you 1 point, right? But then when you flip over another tile, you're going to combine those together. So now you're going to look for, in this case, yellow and purple. So if you look at your board, you want to circle yellows and circle purples, but ideally you want them to have a line between them because it's going to give you tons of points.
Okay.
So there's a little bit of decision making, but you don't know what the tile is. You only get to see the number. So if it says 7 and it says yellow star 2, you know that you're going to have to connect 7 stars together in some sort of constellation pattern on your board. You don't know what the pattern is going to look like, but you know that you want yellow stars. So if you look at your board and you don't have a lot of space for yellows, you probably don't want to pick that one. However, it's not your turn and somebody says, I'm picking 8 and your 8 is yellow stars, you're kind of screwed in that way. You got to make do with the best you can.
Okay.
So each turn you're going to flip over whatever tile has been decided by the start player. Your pattern's going to be different for each person. So in this one, this Ursa Major has this pattern right here. Now you can rotate this, but you cannot mirror it. And then on your board, you're going to draw circles around the stars and add lines between them to make it look like a constellation. And that's it. So the next round, you will take this tile that's revealed, you will flip it over and it becomes the new top tile. And then the next tile that's selected, like say somebody selects tile 5, you will flip it over and it'll be on the bottom. So you're always going to have 2, the previous tile on top face down and the current tile below it face up. And then what that says is during this round, in this case, you want to circle purple stars and gold stars. And on top of that, if you connect them together with a line, so if in this example, purple and yellow right here, this is a line. In this case, if we were just using this example, right, purple, I would get 1 point per purple, 1 point per yellow, and 2 points per connector. So in this case, I would get 3 points for yellow, 1 point per purple, and then this connector would be, actually 2. It's right there. It actually is the one I was taking a picture of. And so that's how each round works. You only do this 6 times. After a round, you turn the disc. If for some reason you cannot finish your constellation, for instance, you don't have enough space or you can't make it work because you can't overlap other stars that you've circled or cross over through lines that you've done, you have to mark off these little 3s right here. So at the end of the game, you're going to get 21 extra points if you don't mess up, but each star you can't draw, you mark off one of these 3-pointers. Now, if you mark off more than that, it's, not a big deal. You don't get punished any further, but then you add up your scores for all 6 rounds. And at the end of the game, there's some other extra scoring, such as for all the stars that are around the Polaris, which looks like the sun in the middle. For each one of those that you've circled, you get a point. And then you get 2 points for every line that crosses over this little axis.
Oh, okay.
And then you get 3 points for any star that you use that's on the edge of the map. Like in this example, like this yellow right here, or these 2 blues, you would get extra points for that. And then whoever has the highest score wins. I'm interested because I know James has played this. So James, let's hear what you think. What do you think?
Okay, I played this at Origins at the Queen Gaines booth. They taught us how to play it. I can tell you right now, there's a lot of marking and then erasing because it was very, I know some other people doing it too. It was hard to figure out the star pattern, how to draw it. I don't know how to explain that. I'd realize halfway through the drawing, I was like, I screwed this up. I went to the wrong stars. So I'd have to erase it every time. And it's kind of messy because it's white. It's a white
chalk marker.
Yeah, it's like chalk. It's not really like a dry erasable. It's kind of weird.
Well, they are called chalk markers.
Is that what they are? Okay.
It's the same markers that was in the Twilight Imperium roll and write.
Right, which wasn't a fan of that one either. And oh, spoiler. But I mean, I like trying to figure out the puzzle-ness of it. I actually thought it was decent. I didn't win, but that's fine. That's no big deal. But you're constantly going back and forth. I made it so where I didn't cross out any of those 3s. I made sure, but it always irritated me because the person it was their turn would never pick the correct number. And you just want to choke them out. No, not literally. You know what I mean? Figuratively, you're like,
really?
Why'd you
Yeah.
choose that 9? I don't need that 9 right now. And so that was always frustrating. You're like, why are you? And I don't know if you pointed out, each person has a unique constellation under each tile. So for this, my 9 might not be the same constellation of your 9.
Right. Yeah. So if somebody,
Yeah,
if the start player says 9, everybody flips over their 9, but your pattern is different than everybody else. Everything is unique in the game. Yeah.
And I mean, when I was a kid, I wanted to be an astronomer. So I was big. I've got a telescope and everything. So I mean, the theme, I was like, this is great. This is a good theme. And I was kind of looking forward to it. Was actually, truthfully, it was a late add-on because one of my other things got canceled. And so I was like looking for something to fill in that time slot, and I chose this. And to me, it fell short. I would give it a 6 out of 10. I thought it was enjoyable, but I didn't buy it because I was like, I didn't feel like there's a lot of replayability in it. It was okay. It was pretty much mid, as they say nowadays. It's average.
It's mid. It's not Skibbity, Ohio, but it's mid.
Right.
More frustrating.
It just didn't grab me. I was like, it's got a neat concept, and I like the theme, but it just didn't grab me. It just was almost borderline boring, in my opinion. And the most excitement I got was just being irritated at the other players for picking the wrong number. I mean, so it was not that hard to keep your constellation in. To me, it wasn't to keep your constellation in the window. It was. I mean, some people got confused. It just didn't do it for me.
I'll sing a little bit more praise than James here. Here's what I'll say. It is definitely an introductory roll and write.
Yes.
However, what I really like about it is it does provoke think. When your tile flips over, you're like, yeah, to be honest, I agree with you. You can't, it's very hard for you to not have space to put the constellation in there, with the exception of the 6th round, because the way that the disc rotates, the 6th round kind of comes back over top of where 1 was. And so now you don't have a lot of space at all. So that is a thing. But during each round, you flip over. I don't even care. Like, give me a 9. I'll figure out how to put it on here. But that's not the problem. The problem is, how can I put it on here and actually score points from it?
Right.
Because, like, I can fit it anywhere I want, but here's the thing. Do I fit it here to get, I get 1 point, because the higher numbers give you less points per star. It's like the 5, 6, and 7 or something give you like 2s. Yeah. So like the 5s and the 6s and the 7s give you 2 points per star, but the 8s, 9s, and 10s only give you 1.
Yeah.
But if you pair up like a 5 and a 6 together, and it wants you to do like blues and yellows, you're like, okay, great. Like I got tons of blues and yellows, and I can connect them together, and you get tons of points. But if you can't, right, if you don't have those colors available, just by happen to what disc you pulled at the beginning of the game, then maybe you want to start doing stuff like getting the in-game scoring, like taking up the middle stars or crossing over the axis or hitting the edges and stuff to get more points. The edges are a lot. I mean, it's 3 points each. So if you have the right constellation, you can put them on the edge. It's 9 points right there, potentially, just from, and then you get points off the actual constellation. And if it happens to be, there's a little bit of luck, right? So if you get the right colors at the right time, that's really going to benefit you. But what's neat is, if you don't score a lot of points on that round, the first player marker goes to whoever scored the lowest in the previous round. So if you're like, oh, I had a bad round, I get to pick next, which is pretty nice. I like that. Now, I do agree with you about the replayability.
That's nice.
It is 100% the same game every single time.
Yes.
There is the only randomness to it are the actual constellation tiles and what patterns you get. But all the decisions are always the same. It is nice that each player isn't really just, it's not a game about, having the exact same patterns and whoever did the best with those patterns, which I don't know if that would make it better or not. I mean, I guess you could. I don't know. It's neat that it's not like that though. And and the biggest thing about the game is the components are just amazing. Like, the boards are really good. It really feels like you're drawing out these constellations. The white chalk marker makes it pop. The The board itself is just like high gloss, which almost to an irritating level because now I have fingerprints all over them.
Right.
But I like it. I like it. It's different. It's pretty. It would be neat if there's a way to make the scoring a little bit different. I don't know if they could do it where you have different these star discs or whatever you want to call it. I forget what the actual rulebook calls them. If you could have different ones of those.
Right. Different combinations of colors of stars next to each other.
Right. Or have some that have like, maybe it's not so starry night and, you know, they're more like there's clouds that kind of obscure parts of it. So it makes it harder to slot those things in or something. I mean,
oh, wow. Yeah.
that would be kind of neat, you know, but I agree. The replayability of the game is essentially like most roll and writes where you're just pulling off a sheet and you're doing the same game over and over and over.
Yeah, that's the roll and write thing.
But those are fun.
I don't agree.
No, but I mean, I'm not saying that if somebody said, "Hey, let's play this," I'd be okay. Let's do it. I mean, I'd enjoy it, but it's just, I think you reminded me about how the next person who gets to pick the number is chosen. I don't think I ever got to choose the number, and that was what's kind of frustrating. It's like
because you were doing awesome. Did you win?
No, I lost by 10 points. I had 98. I think the person that won is 108. So I mean, but it was I was doing average or to good, but it's not like I'm bragging or anything. It's just every time you're like, I really need them to pick this number because then, like you said, I'm seeing these color stars and I'll score a lot of points, and naturally or inevitably they're going to pick something else, and you're going to be like, you knucklehead, why'd you? Obviously it's helping them, but it's just frustrating because I never got to pick what number. I think I did once, but it's like maybe the first time or something, but it's like I never get to pick, and you're all picking the wrong numbers.
I wonder if it would, like how the playtesting went with that. Instead of just making it rotate the first player, there's 6 rounds. So, I mean, you couldn't really do that because somebody would be first player more than others. You know what I mean? So it kind of makes sense that they had to pick something like this. I mean, I suppose if you play the game with a few people, you know, 3 people like it says it's best with, each person can be first player twice. But I like the idea that it gives somebody who had a poor round the ability to pick the next one.
Right.
But I see what you mean. Like if you're always in lead, just barely, and you never get to pick, you could have a bad round even at the last round, and it just screws you over and you lose.
Right.
So, but you know, it has a weight of 1.6. It is a very easy game. I will say though, 2 things. One, when you flip over your constellation and you're trying to decide where to put it, it is a hard decision. And partly because James is right. I didn't have a lot of issues with this, with like the orientation of how this thing fits in, but your starboard shifts a little bit. And so if you are like looking at the picture of the starboard, there is a grid of behind the stars, all these lines. And so if you have to like take your tile and like rotate it so that the grid in the background on your constellation tile matches the orientation of your star patterns and stuff, so that you can be like, how can this put on there? Because I've seen some players like draw stuff and be like, oh, well, how there's no way to do this diagonal. I'm like, well, technically no, because you're drawing it in a different orientation that it's actually supposed to be on there. And so like that can be a little confusing for people.
It was the diagonals. Those always got me. I don't know why.
Yeah, no, I get it. Because your grid rotates. If it was straight, like, you know, like an orthogonal grid, it's not hard. But the first time you rotate the board and the board is just diagonal and you're looking at your piece and it's not diagonal, it can be a little confusing.
Just like I said, it's not firewood. I enjoyed playing it. So I don't want to sound like I hated it. I enjoyed playing it, but I was like, this is just not for me.
No, I think it's a gateway roll and write, and it's really good at what it's doing. But if it needs to go further than that, it would need some sort of expansion or whatever for those who are seasoned at roll and writes, I guess. It's not the anarchy, but you know, can't win them all. I will say one other thing is Queen Games has gotten away from Dun dun dun. Yellow boxes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I noticed that.
They've moved to where they have this little wave as an homage to the original yellow box. It's
That's a white line.
That's so much
just a
better.
white line. It is so much better. I actually like it a lot. I think, but in some regard, I was talking to Travis about this. It is a long history of branding to have a yellow box. And if you look at my shelves, you know what the one thing you'll say is, oh, look at all your Queen games, because they're all next to each other. But you know what somebody doesn't say? Look at all your Stonemaier games. And I don't mean
That is
that.
a
I'm not-
lovely cover.
It is a fantastic cover. The art is awesome.
Why is the whale the only one that doesn't actually show the constellation behind it?
I don't
Oh.
think there is one.
Maybe it's a
Well,
misprint.
I don't think there's a bobcat either as a constellation
I
or a
wonder if-
dolphin.
I wonder if they were making the art, if they unchecked the layer and it took the stars away. By the way, I wasn't making a dig towards Stonemaier. I meant that about any company, other than Haba and Queen Games, you can't look at somebody's game shelf and say, oh, your games are all together, unless you actually read the titles and stuff. I'm just saying a bunch of yellow boxes in one row is either Haba or Queen.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's finish this up. I really like this game. I think if you like roll and writes and you're not like into the super deep roll and writes, this is one I would absolutely try out. Add to your collection. You can buy multiple copies, even though it says 1 to 5 players, but I think it only comes with 4 in the box. That has to be a misprint. It is great. You can buy multiple copies. You can play it with more people. Although if you buy 2 copies, you can't fit it all in one box. So just keep that in mind. I like it. James doesn't. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll give it a try.
Cool. Well, anyway, that is Star Explorer by Queen Games.
Nice. I have one game to talk about that is a Gencon game. This is the only one I've actually played that someone brought back from Gencon. It is called Toons. This is one that was on my list. I really wanted to get a look at this one. So I was happy to be invited into that game. Is it on screen now?
Yes.
All right. Toons is a game where you are trying to put 6 animated characters together into a cast. The way that's accomplished in the game is they have fame points, and if you go over 30 fame points, that triggers the end of the game. And then there's one more round. During the game, you are going to be playing these cards that all have this character art for the different animated characters on them, which is the art is fantastic. I really enjoyed that about it. It's really just a deck of cards, this game. It is a deck building game. And so you start out with a hand of 6 cards, and they're all the same for everybody. There's a couple of caterpillars that give you 0 fame. There is a dragonfly that gives you a couple of points of fame. There's a bee that gives you a point. They're all just very basic, low level, couple of points kinds of things. And what happens in the game is you're going to have 2 phases. In the first phase, there's going to be a market row, and the prices always stay the same. It's going to be 3, 4, 7, 10, and 15. And then you'll deal out cards underneath those that are cards available in the market. And depending on how much fame you generate, I'm giving you these in the backwards order. Before you get to the market phase, you actually have to generate the fame. So let me jump to that. You generate the fame by dealing out your cards into a 3x2 grid. So you deal out your 6 cards into a 3x2. And depending on where they fall, you'll get your fame points. Because very often on the cards, it'll say, if this card is next to this or that, you get a certain amount of fame. And there's all different kinds of permutations of that, which makes it really interesting that it's just this very simple 3x2 grid, but you're trying to get the most fame you can. And then you go with the fame that you have. First, you record it using a couple of cards. One has an arrow and the other one has numbers, and you just show how much fame you got. Everyone does that at the same time. Then you go turn by player turn around buying from the market. And however much fame you had, you can spend it to get a new card into your discard pile. Or you can spend 3 fame to boot out one of your basic level characters, or 5 fame to get rid of any other character out of your cast. And so you throw them out of the game. And that's really nice that you can do that at any time. right? So it's not one of these ones where a deck building game where you have to look for cards that get rid of other cards. But there are also cards that do that. You've improved your hand. And this is the other thing. Unlike other deck building games where the cards that are left become your deck and then you shuffle ones and if your deck runs out, not in this game. In this game, every round you take all of your cards and shuffle them and start afresh. So your deck is all of your cards each time. And the trigger at the end of the game, like I said, is 30 points. And then you play one more round, which is the final act. And the person who triggered the 30 points might not win the game. By triggering the 30-point threshold, you get a card that gives you +3 fame. And that's it. Then you play that extra last round, and somebody else could win the game if they did better on that final round than you did plus your 3. And the game is 20 minutes long, as it says on the box, and that's true. It's just a very, very snappy, really fun game. I had a great time with it. There's things that will let you put cards stacked onto other cards. There are things that will let you create a new row. So the 3x2, you could, if you deal into the top part of the 3x2 a monkey card, the monkey can move up into another row. And so now you've got an extra card than everyone else. There's things that happen if they're in the middle or if they're in the bottom row. Yeah, there's just a ton of different characters in the game.
When you're dealing out the cards, do you have to do the top 3 and then the second row?
Yes, you do. You have to do them in that order. Yeah. Top 3 left to right, then bottom 3 left to right. There are things that have you flip cards face down, so then they don't score in certain ways. But then there are other cards that let you do things with cards that might have been flipped face down. So there's just a huge amount of deck building to be done and different strategies to go for. I really enjoyed it. I'm definitely going to pick up my own copy, and I would say, I haven't given it a whole lot of plays, but right now I'm saying it's easily a 7.5, could be an 8 for me.
Nice. I mean, is a lot of just random, like, okay, you deck build and you flip out 6 cards. Do you activate them in any order that you want?
No, and that is the thing that I guess would be the biggest criticism of the game is that, okay, you deck build, you're making choices there, but really you don't have agency in terms of how the cards come out and what they total for you. Well, you do in a sense where you can use your fame points to either buy more cards or get rid of cards that are in your deck. That's your choice as well. But
otherwise you just flip out those 6 and
you
read
flip
them
it
all
out,
off,
and that's what happens. That's the cast you had that day, and are they going to be a hit show or not?
And you don't determine what order they go in. It's random.
You shuffle up, you deal off the top of your deck. Yep. And there are cards that kind of mess with that in different ways. Like, a card will say, stack this card on top of the stack the next card on top of this card, so that you're getting points for both of those cards. And it allows you to deal out an extra card rather than just 6 at that point. There are lots of cards that say, if you've dismissed your starting cards, you get +1 for every starting card that you've dismissed, or something like that. Yeah. So,
man, you may have said it, but I didn't know this was a Thunderworks game. That's interesting.
No, I didn't say. Sorry.
It's all right.
The artwork reminds me of like old timey cartoons from like the 1920s, like Popeye or something.
Yeah, it's so fun. The artwork is fun, and the game is very fast, and I found it to be really enjoyable. Even though I realize, okay, it has quite a bit of random in there, but you're all kind of doing the same thing of just trying to maximize your deck and hoping for the best. And yeah, it's just fun. I liked it.
Kind of gives me, 2 things. One, in the podcast where we talked about our Gencon preview and you brought this up, for some odd reason, the way you explained it, or at least the information you knew at the time, I thought it sounded like Flip City. It sounds nothing like Flip City now. Just FYI. Yeah. The second thing is there was a G.I. Joe card game by Hasbro that came out a very long time ago. I would say 2008, 9 or something. It's like the G.I. Joe collectible card game. And you did something similar. It wasn't a deck builder, but you'd build a deck and you'd flip out cards kind of like in that like top row, bottom row. But some cards would work better if they were in the back row. Some would work better in the front. You didn't get to choose, and it was just straight flip them out and stuff happens, Yes. And it sounds a lot like that, which is, it's weird to say. If the game isn't long, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, it's really not. No, I found it enjoyable. There's a lot of tension as you're flipping your cards out. You're like, oh, I hope I get this and that, to work out and do better this time than they did. And yeah, there's so many permutations of different kinds of cards and how they interact with each other. Yeah, I just found it fun.
I do have a question though. You said one of the cards, like the monkey or whatever, he can shift positions. What does that do? Does he override?
He creates his own row. He creates his own row. He like climbs up into a top row.
Oh, so like that happens immediately when he flips out, so you can put another card there.
Yeah, so he goes up into the top row, and then another one comes in, where he would have been, right? So you get an extra
but
card.
Only if he's on the top row, though. So if he flips out on the second row, he can't jump up in the air.
That's right.
Okay. I mean,
stuff like that.
It's basically a 50% chance to draw another card.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's certain numbers of each of these kinds of cards in the deck. There's only so many monkeys in there, and there's only so many. So you can kind of watch as people go around and purchase these cards, and think to yourself, well, should I do a monkey strategy because maybe I won't get another monkey, or whatever,
Does this sound like a best with two type of game?
No. I played with 5.
Like, you like, because it seems like there's not. I mean, is it better with more players?
You're not messing with each other. I mean,
right.
You change the market. That's it.
Okay. So in most people's cases, this is probably going to be a really good 2-player game then.
I would think so. I don't think it'll change very much based on the player count.
Yeah. I mean, other than the fact that the market, does it only get replaced when people buy stuff, or does it at the end of the round kind of get refreshed somehow?
No, it's when people buy stuff. Yeah.
Okay. So in a 2-player game, that would be really nice because you can kind of plan, okay, I'm gonna buy this card next, or, but if they buy it, then I'll buy this other card. But in a 5-player game, after I'm done with my turn, I ain't paying attention for 4 turns.
Right. Right. But that's what I mean. Like, you probably do want to pay attention a little bit so you know what other people are trying to go for. And are they snapping up all of that kind of card? So you're not going to be, looking for that.
That's a fair point.
Yeah. So there's a little bit of that. Yeah.
That's kind of like the Forest Shuffle mentality. He's going for the, what is it, beech trees or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you gotta cut them off. And there are a couple of cards. There's at least one. The pig is a banker that gives you a negative point, and you can hand that off onto somebody else's deck. So that gets passed around the table. Yeah, so there's just a tiny bit of interaction.
Like a hot potato.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty neat. I like that it's, I'm kind of biased to some degree. When I see Thunderworks, I get excited because they make a lot of games I like.
I think you would like this one.
This seems like something that would be really cool to like throw some expansions at, like small ones.
Exactly. Yeah. Any kind of deck building game. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Although I will say, while I wish it was, as you're placing the cards down, you could choose, like, you have to put it adjacent or whatever, and then it had all these like interactions between cards. Yeah. That would lengthen the game probably a lot. And then you would lose that 20-minute
mark.
Yeah. So it's kind of everything could be more complex, but do you want time added to the game, or do you want a simple kind of casual filler? And it's easy to make a filler no longer a filler.
Yeah. I think they nailed it with this one. And I think the game is $20, or 25, and I'm absolutely picking it up.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, cool. And any final thoughts? Stuff. Or are you good?
No, just simple deck builder with lots of different kinds of ways to go about building your deck, and then just praying you get what you need.
And very nostalgic art.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, cool. That's Flip Toons. All right. We're at the end of this episode. Anything you guys want to add on before we wrap up?
Just good to be here again, guys.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been gone for a little bit, but it's good stuff. I'm happy to be back.
Yeah. I mean, eventually it would be nice to, if you follow the podcast for a long time, we started as a bi-weekly podcast. Maybe I should make a small episode about this. Now, the history of MeepleCore. It started off as a 3-hour bi-weekly podcast because in my mind, I thought people like hour to an hour and a half podcast each week. And if I came out with a 3-hour podcast every other week, it's not as bad, but it was a lot. It was a lot to sit down for 3 hours and do a podcast. It was fun, but then I moved on to doing more of like an hour podcast every week. We took that hiatus for a few years and we're back. And right now, just because I'm easing into it, the podcast every other week is working out. But ideally, I think it would be nice to do weekly podcast because I really did like that. But then you have to have a lot of games played between content or have a lot of content between episodes. So
Sure.
we'll see how that goes out. Now that some things have changed in life, that might be on the horizon, but we'll see. We'll work some stuff out, and then George will have to find his insane schedule to
Yeah.
work it in. But
I can manage. Yeah.
we'll get it done. All right. Anyway, we want to thank you again for tuning in to episode 153 of the MeepleCore Gaming Podcast. This episode was recorded on August 9th, 2025. Send questions and comments to meeplecore@gmail.com. Follow MeepleCore on your favorite social media platforms. Check out the video versions of the show on YouTube. Until next time, this is Tim, Jennette, the Middle Meeple.
George Breden.
And James Fitzgerald.
Keep on rocking and rolling dice.